Here we are, everyone. Welcome back. We've got another 3-step house track to look at and think about. So what I'll do now, I'll just play the track and you can have a listen and you can maybe think about what you like about it or not like about it. I'd love to hear it below. And please remember to like and subscribe while you're doing that. So that's the main track and all the things that I've done. So the FLP will be the link for the FLP will be there with the video, so you're free to have a look at all the processing and all the things that I did. But basically I just kept it simple. I didn't do too much. I just tried to make sure I don't overdo anything on the sounds. So for example, at the intro, I just kept my drums simple. and that's mainly just, I just chopped up some shakers. I sometimes chop them up and I leave the declicking on smooth, and it just gives you different sounds. This one is pitched all the way down, so it's something you can try just to make your track stand out a little bit. And the other thing I did was I used some of these sounds just to create like a bit more, just to get a little bit more sound out of them. Like for example here, I use some congas just to, that's what I started with, just to give me something to latch on to make all the other sounds. So once I had that sound, everything just started to fall into place, and I was adding more sounds now. Then the bass just follows like that conga pattern here, so it just goes. But I think I've got automation. So once I had set, I just these basic elements, I was able now to mess around and like work on my break here and just try to add to that. But what I like to remove my drums just as I'm about to really build up the song, and it allows me just to be limited to the sounds that a few sounds I have, and I can start using automations just to build it up a little bit like I did here. This is where I added the, I think it's probably like an amapiano snare, but with I made the notes very short, so with an envelope like this, just to so it can snap. You really have to make your notes very small. So this is very, very small, but it just has that effect. And it's good because I can make like choppy patterns with the snare. So for example, like here, and it just adds to it because I try to make it, I try to not make it boring and just keep adding new sounds and just keep things moving. Like here I was cutting the bass out and making chops and things like that. I could have done a little bit more, but I didn't have much time to do so, so I just kept it simple. So for example, when it comes in, yeah, that's it. And what I did as well, I just used the log drum with some reverb distortion just to make this. It just makes it just actually adds a little bit more like on the sides, and it fills in a lot of space. And I just had this at the background. You can't really hear it, but it just adds a little bit to this section of the song. It's just little touches. I added more shakers just to add a bit more energy. And then what else did I do finally? This is also I added a second bass on top of this, so it sort of sounds like this. It's just for that crash sound at the top. And then here I had just another percussion loop I chopped up. Makes it a bit more interesting. And then I had just this towards the end. And then some strings. And after all that, then you get the beat. And I also added this at the bottom. And that just pretty much makes things a bit more exciting. So that's just a rundown, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Yeah, just drop me a sub. Let me know what you think, and as well, feel free to use the FLP for learning purposes. It's all good.